Welcome to Bovine Banter with the Penn State Dairy Extension Team. I'm Jim Lawhead, a Dairy Program Specialist at University Park. I'd like to introduce myself as a recent addition to the Extension Team and to Bovine Banter. I've come to Extension following a long career as a veterinarian in Perry and Juniata counties. I've been fortunate to work with dairy farms with a wide range of sizes and management. I've always had an interest in nutrition and dairy herd management, and I've enjoyed working with farmers trying to improve their productivity and profitability. It was a difficult decision to leave my dairy clients to change careers, but I'm excited that my work with Extension will allow me to build relationships with dairy farms across the state. Please feel free to contact me if I can be of assistance. Joining us today in this episode of Bovine Banter is Kendall Byers from Raccoon Valley Dairy in Perry County, Pennsylvania. Kendall is here to talk to us about diversifying the family business. Kendall, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your farm?
Yeah, hi, my name's Kendall Byers. I'm 62 years old. I started farming in 1983, and I drove a truck too for 15 years. And in 1999, I had the opportunity to buy Dick Hall's cows, and that's when I started milking cows. And in 2002, I bought this farm that we're at here now.
Okay, thank you. And how many cows are you milking now, and how many acres are you farming?
We're currently milking 52 cows. There's 10 cows up in the dry cow barn, and we're milking with a robot. And the cows are housed in a free stall. We have pasture mattresses, put them in 2014, I think. And we grow corn, soybeans, wheat, triticale for forage, and I'm farming a total of 300 acres, and it's all conventional.
Great. Well, what made you want to get started in the dairy industry?
Well, it's kind of funny. Whenever I was in high school, I wanted to be an electrician. I had 5 uncles that milked cows, and I helped a couple of them when I was a kid growing up. I guess you could say farming kind of found me. I didn't find it.
Very good. Well, obviously your uncles were involved in your decisions, but did you have other mentors as you got started to guide you? And what did they tell you?
I had my uncles. They helped a lot. Went to them for advice. I had a couple cousins that were older than me. I went to them for advice. And it's kind of funny because as technology kept getting better all the time, I found them uncles coming to me for advice after 10, 15 years of being in the business. So that made me feel good too.
That's fantastic. Well, how has your dairy operation changed over the years, and what drove those changes?
When I first started milking, I bought the cows off of Dick Hall, and he was milking in bucket milkers, and they carried the barn milk to the milk house. Well, I did that for 15 days. And I went to my one uncle. He had quit milking cows. He had a dumping station. And I asked him if I could buy his dumping station or borrow it. And he said, well, you can't buy it, and you can certainly borrow it. So I did. I carried the milk for 15 days. We put that dumping station in, and I milked like that until October 18th of 99. And the reason I can remember that is because it was the day after my birthday. We put a pipeline in, and then milked like that till 2003, I think it was. I put a walk-through parlor in, and with automatic takeoffs, and I thought, now this is the way to milk cows. So over the years we grew. We were up to 80 cows at one point, and help was starting to get hard to get. Had high school kids helping me. They'd come and go. Finally, I decided to put a robot in 2018, and that's when we went robotics.
How did that transition go?
Not good. I shouldn't really say not good, but the first 3 days I had myself and a hired boy helping me, and when we started the robot, it took 12 hours to get the whole herd of cows through. We were milking 61 at that particular time. As soon as all 61 were through, that took 12 hours. We shut the robot down to do a wash, and then we had the cows in two groups. We sent them through again. That time it took 11 hours, and we did that for 3 days straight. And on day 3, I said to the boy that was helping me, I said, "Why don't you go home and get some sleep and then come back and let me go get some sleep?"
And then after the cows got trained, was the transition smooth from a nutrition standpoint and production standpoint?
Uh, I went through 5 nutritionists till I got one that knew what he was doing, milking with or feeding cows through a robot.
And things have progressed then.
Yes, yes.
Very good. Well, what recommendations would you have for other farmers that are considering putting robots in?
Well, make sure you have plenty of help when you start up. Have plenty of help. Don't have them all there at the same time. Have them that they can rotate in and out, because it makes for some really long days till you get the cows trained. Actually, after those first 3 days, I was going out every couple hours and checking the fetch list and throwing those cows in the commitment pen. And then on the weekends, that boy that was helping me, he would come and do that in the mornings just so I could stay in bed for a couple hours.
So it was a challenge as you made your
Yes,
progression.
it was a challenge,
Good.
but I would never go back.
Good. Well, you also made another transition in your farming business. I see you have a poultry barn in.
Yeah, I put that in because we had to be more diversified. 'Cause it's just like seems like the small dairies it's just harder and harder for small dairies to stay in business these days.
So when did the poultry barn go in, and what kind of poultry industry are you working at?
The poultry barn, we got birds on February of 2017. It's a breeding barn. The eggs go to Longenecker's hatchery. I have a contract with them.
And how many birds do you have?
When we first get them, we usually get somewhere between 9 and 9,500 hens, and 1,100 roosters, because the eggs are fertile.
Well, how did that transition into poultry go?
Pretty good. We were still milking in the old parlor at the time, so it made for some really, really long days.
Well, how do you feel the poultry industry differs from the dairy industry?
One thing with the poultry, we get paid every Thursday. There's it's deposited directly into our checkbook, so you pretty much know what you're getting every week with them. The milk checks are up and down like a yo-yo. You never know what you're going to get there.
Well, how does your workload having both dairy cattle and poultry compare to before that when you were milking in the step-through parlor?
My days are just way more flexible since we put the robot in. Milking in the old step walk-through parlor at 3:30 in the afternoon, no matter what you were doing, if you're out in the field or whatever, you had to stop and come into the barn and start doing afternoon chores, because I always like to be milking by 4:30. And now with the robot, I find myself going to the field at that time of the day. As long as the cows have feed, some days in the mornings we pretty much always are out there between 6 and 7 in the morning doing chores, and in the evenings we'll start chores anytime from 3 in the afternoon to maybe 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. Depends what's going on or if we want to go away. It just makes your whole day more flexible. As long as there's feed out there, everything's usually pretty good.
Great. Well, with the current avian influenza problems, how has biosecurity changed with having two species on the same farm?
As far as the chicken house, like the feed trucks and the egg trucks milks. When they pull in the driveway, the drivers have automatic things in their truck somehow that spray their tires to disinfect them when they're coming in the driveway. And then in the chicken house, we have what I call a foot bath. It has disinfectant powder in it. You step in that when you go in the chicken house, and then we change our shoes in there to continue on into the chicken house. As far as the dairy side of it, we really don't have a plan. We probably should get one together.
I like that suggestion. We need to continue to work at that. Well, do you have any advice for other dairy farmers that would consider adding a poultry house?
Well, it definitely makes you become more diversified, but make sure you have plenty of help because it can make for some long days if you don't have much help.
You've obviously made changes. What are your hopes for the farm in the future?
Well, naturally, every dad would like to see their kid take over or a grandchild. I'm not sure that that's going to happen in my case, but uh, I would be apt to help some young person get started in this business if they wanted to, if I could find the right one.
Very good. Well, thank you, Kendall, for talking with us today, and thank you to all our listeners. If you have any further questions regarding this topic, you can email me at jbl5606@psu.edu. Don't forget to tune in to future episodes of Bovine Banter with the Penn State Dairy Extension Team.